Swaddy Krupp, and welcome to another Ask the Thais. Now, this turned out to be quite a popular segment last week, so we thought we'd do it again. And we're brought back to the camera. We've got Kun Beer here. Now, Beer, as we know, was very, very popular last week. Why do you think you were so popular?
I don't know, maybe like how I talk. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was much to do with how you talk. Some of the comments were a little bit inappropriate, but congratulations, you did very well.
Thank you.
Now, we've also got Earth back with us. Hi, Earth.
Hi.
Now, you were also very popular because people said, wow, his English is so good. But you were educated in America, mostly.
Yes, I'm privileged.
Yeah, privileged.
I mean, I'm privileged to be educated.
How many years did you live in America?
3.5 years.
Okay, cool. All right. And we've also got today, it's the middle of the day, we've got Kun Bo. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us. Now, I should say that Bo and Beer, during lunchtime, just talk and talk and talk and talk. So we thought we'd get the two together. All right, starting off with our first question today, all my notes here, and the questions are mostly from you in response to last week. Here we go. First question, what is something the Westerners do that irritates Thai people or irritates you? We'll start with you, Beer.
When I hang out with Bo, like always Westerner ask me like, where will I go out? Like,
Where do you go out?
Yeah. Go out.
But is that just
except that place that we were.
Okay, so is that a question like just a starter question, just to get to know you?
Like, but you know, always.
So, what are these places you go to? Are you going to seedy bars, or are you talking about high class restaurants?
No, like bar and drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always ask me something
So-
like that, but like where I will go.
Okay. How about you, Bo? What irritates you about Westerners?
Maybe they compare their country with Thailand. Like, my country is better than yours. Like, half a lot.
Okay. Do you think that's because they're interested to compare things in Thailand to their own country, or they're just
Yes.
trying to make their own country sound better?
Just some of Western, yeah. Like, compare their country is better than Thailand.
Okay. And does that irritate you because Thailand is better than their country, or they just keep on talking and talking about it?
They just keep talking about, but I don't think that Thailand is better, but it's so.
Okay.
Like,
All right, that's interesting. Earth, what irritates you about foreigners?
Well,
Don't say that your boss is really irritating.
Oh, there's no way I'm going to say that.
All right, just checking.
I love you, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, first off, I have to say that it's not just about Westerners that irritates me. I feel like I'm very easily irritated by people in general.
You just don't like people.
I just don't like people, to be quite frank. Yeah. But one thing I do see about those type of Westerners that I tend to have a problem with is they're mostly the ignorant ones, that they feel like, you know, they have this predisposed idea or concept about what Thailand is. Like, you know, it's like more of a vacation place and more of a retirement place, and they feel like, you know, they can say anything they want.
But for a lot of them, it is a retirement, a vacation place.
It is. I mean, I'm not denying that our country is actually one of the most popular places to retire to, but it doesn't really matter where you move to, but ignorance really doesn't have a place when it comes to human interactions. This is my belief.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like, you know, for example, yesterday I was at a food court at a mall, and one Westerner came to the cleaning staff, and apparently the cleaning staff doesn't speak English, right? And there seems to be a communication problem between the two. And the Westerner just went on acting really disrespectfully to the cleaning staff. But this is not just specifically about Westerners, but like I said, all kinds of people have different kinds of backgrounds. And
That irritates me about Westerners too, by the
Yeah.
way. Right, so the next question, have you ever dated a Westerner or had a Westerner as a good friend? Come on, we want the truth here.
yeah.
Beer will tell me if you tell me the wrong answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, it's happened maybe last 2 years ago.
Her
Yeah,
love
I
story.
went to Chiang Mai and I go to the club and I met some
A nice
Italian,
man.
a nice man. Yeah.
Okay. And so, did you go for what, a 78-year-old, or did you go for like a 25-year-old? You want the old ones with a lot of money that are going to die in a few years.
No, I don't think about the money.
They're the ones you're after.
He's like,
Sugar daddy.
Oh God.
I don't want sugar daddy. Please.
She knows the term sugar daddy.
He was like 27 years
Okay.
old. Yes.
And then, how did that go? I
I
don't want the gory details, but
It's going well.
oh, it's
with-
still going.
No, it's not.
oh, okay.
Like.
What's his name and address?
No, I don't tell you.
Are there photos on Facebook?
I don't post it. I keep it on my iPhone.
Okay. All right. How about you, Earth? Have you dated a Westerner, or have a Westerner as a good friend?
I've never dated a Westerner before, but
Okay.
I did have a background in an international school environment. So yes, I do have a lot of Western friends, and we remained buddies till today.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's going to want to know about your Western boyfriends or your
You have to
Western
tell the
friends.
truth. Yeah.
I have,
I was going to tell me.
I have a lot of Westerner friends because once I used to be a teacher assistant in a Thai class for exchange students, so that's why I have a lot of Westerner friends, and
Okay.
it's great.
Have you ever dated a Western man?
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Beer. Being the teacher's assistant for foreign students, being used to that environment, I would say I want to ask you about what do you think about them and their vibe versus your Thai friends. What are the differences?
The difference is that they dare to ask the teacher, like have the discussions more than Thai student.
You mean they're more brave at asking
Brave, yes,
questions and
yeah.
discussing?
Always ask like what they don't know
Oh,
at
okay.
the time.
Why do you think they're more brave, and why are you implying that Thai people are kind of shy to do so?
I think yes, they are trying to ask the teacher, but maybe it's in Thailand it's polite to after class and you ask the teacher, but
okay.
In like Western culture maybe they
You just ask right
yeah,
away.
yeah,
Okay.
right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, now a more difficult one. This is slightly more serious. Okay. A lot of people want to know, why is the road toll, the road deaths in Thailand so high? Like it's the third or fourth highest road toll in the world. It's not really something to be proud of. So the question is why, I'll start with you, Earth. Why is Thailand's road toll so high in your opinion?
Okay. So first of all, if my answer offends anyone, I'm sorry, but this is purely my opinion, and I do believe that opinions does not have right or wrong. Okay, answering that question. I think the mannerisms in terms of how we drive here in Thailand and the culture of our traffic and the transportation and the organization of how we drive really sets up why there's so many accidents going on the streets.
What are some of the driving techniques that you think are bad? I'll mention one, ghost riding, when you're driving on the wrong side of the road.
Yes.
I mean, it's just dangerous.
Yes.
What do you think are other sort of mannerisms or
I just
driving
feel
habits?
like right off the bat, if you do drive on the road here, you're going to notice that people are always on the wrong side of the lane, right? This is the fast lane, which we drive to the right side, and the right side is the lane that we're actually used to speed. But all people are just driving super slow on the right lane, and that already causes disruptions to the traffic.
So what do you think the problem is? Why is Thailand's road toll so high?
I think they don't follow the rules of the traffic, and I have many friends who have an accident because they don't be careful. They want to go drink, and after that they
Drinking and driving.
Drinking and driving is a
That
lot.
seems to be statistically the main problem. Drink driving and speed driving.
Yes.
Have you had an accident before?
Never.
You ride a motorbike?
No.
Car?
Car, no.
Or you take taxis and
Yeah, I take taxi.
get a ride with beer?
Yeah, get out. Yeah.
What do you think about Thailand's road toll? Why is it so high?
I think people, break the rules. It's not like a Westerner that if they have a rule, they didn't go far from the rule. But in Thailand, people always don't follow
but
the rules.
Are the police enforcing the rules? I mean, why are Thai people just doing what they want on the roads? Aren't the police enforcing the rules?
The rule is weak.
I think that the
Yeah.
police are there to enforce the rules, but the consequences and the punishment that we actually get for breaking all these rules are really not up to the level that it's gonna make us feel
Change your
like-
habit.
change your habits. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. You both drive?
yeah,
Yeah.
I do drive.
Yeah. Have you had accidents?
Twice.
I do.
Okay. What caused the accidents?
I was speeding,
Yeah.
and the car in front of me just brakes abruptly, and I couldn't.
So you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. By law. So what could happen to improve the road deaths? Well, I'll tell you what happened in Australia. We used to have a very, very high road toll, a lot of drink driving. But over a period of about 10 years, our government put a tax on our car registration. Not many people drive motorbikes in Australia. And they spent that tax on a campaign, a road safety campaign and a drink driving campaign, mostly drink driving. And they put advertisements on the TV, which we saw every night, sitting there eating our dinner, and they showed real accidents and the real consequences of the crying relatives and the screaming wife and the paramedics trying to sort of pick up bits of brain, and it was very graphic. But over a period of 10 years, they basically said, don't drink and drive. This is the consequences. And it changed people's habits. Then they introduced, that we called them the booze buses. And that was where they set up these buses, and they'd stop you as you're driving along to get out of your car, come and take a drug test. And if you were tested positive with a high blood alcohol level, they said, park your car over there and walk home. You are not getting back in your car.
So
And
strict.
it was very strict, and there were very high penalties for people, and it changed people's habits. They said to bars, if one of your customers is convicted, we'll hold you responsible and we'll put you in jail. So they made the bars responsible for making sure their customers didn't drink too much. So they were some of the things we did in Australia, and it really changed a whole generation's drink driving habits.
So the government do the strict thing to make the
Yeah.
people change the habit.
So it was not only advertising the problem, but then it was the enforcement. They just sent the police out and said, just stop people, arrest them, and they did it. But would that approach work? I mean, putting advertisements up on... I've seen some when I go to the films. They have some advertisements that show the consequences of an advertisement. Has it
It's not
stopped
a
you
lot.
drink driving? Well, you don't drive.
I
Has it
drink
stopped
drive.
either of you drink driving, or do you still go out, have a few drinks, and then drive home?
I think it's not in Thailand. Maybe it's work, but people in Australia and Thailand not the same.
Of course.
I think it's more about the ideology of driving responsibly, and I feel like Thai people, when they drive, they take into account too little about that they're not only responsible for their own lives on the road, but they need to be responsible for the lives of the other people around them.
Sure.
That's the ideology that we're kind of lacking.
Can I throw this in there? Buddhist people
Yes.
believe in an afterlife. Do you think that they sort of... the consequences is, oh, well, if I die, I'm going to have another life. So there isn't sort of that, oh, my God, I'll die if I do. Do you think that's got something to do with it?
Yeah, to make
asking.
Thai people to believe.
Well, I mean, is your Buddhism, is it something to do
I don't think
with
that.
the carefree nature?
I don't think that relates at all.
It's wrong in terms
Yeah,
of the Buddhism
like, you know-
and make them not drink and
No one
drive.
here can confirm if we actually have another life after we die, right?
No.
Yeah. So,
I
like,
don't
be
think
responsible
so.
for the ones that you're living right now.
I'm with you. But Buddhists generally believe in an afterlife.
Uh huh.
Ah, okay. Finally, I'm going to ask a very simple question. I'll start with you, Bo. What is a farang?
Farang.
Falang, as Thai people say.
I like they call for foreigner who
Foreigner?
yeah. Like
All foreigners?
no, not all.
Okay.
Like maybe who stay in Thailand. Like
So you think
Just a
farang
feeling.
are the foreigners who stay here in Thailand?
yeah, I'm not sure really.
All right, but that's your
Like, it's-
definition.
in
yeah,
your
maybe it's
definitions.
my
The point I suppose I'm trying to make here is I think I'm going to get 3 different definitions, and that's okay. Earth, what do you think a farang is?
Well, farang is actually a fruit.
A fruit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
In
fruit,
English,
it's
it's actually
guava.
guava.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
guava.
Yeah, but I think it's just a nickname that, like, you know, Thai people came up with to call Westerners.
Just Westerners or all foreigners?
Westerners, white-skinned Westerners.
White-skinned Westerners are farang. Okay, what do you think?
Originally.
What do you think a farang is?
I think it's, you know, like come from foreigner and it's, you know, changed to be farang and it have the, you know, pronunciation at farang, gava,
Okay, I get that, but what do you think of a farang is?
like the definition.
Yeah,
Like brown hairs and brown eye.
blonde hair. I used to have blonde
Oh
hair
no,
a long time ago. I still got the blue eyes.
blue eyes. Sorry.
Okay, so if I was born in Malaysia but lived in Australia and came to live in Thailand, I wouldn't be a farang.
No, you wouldn't.
I had to have the blonde hair and the blue eyes.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. All right, you have been fantastic again.
Thank you.
Do you want to ask me a question?
What about you? What do you think? Farang.
Well, I think
That's a good question.
I think the word farang, I understand it to apply to white-skinned Westerners, not Chinese or Koreans or Japanese. I think it's slightly racist. So I don't really like it. I know there's no racism intended, but I find it a racist term. It's like in America, they say, you know, you're black. Or you just wouldn't say that. A different culture, I understand. So when people go, and when I'm sometimes in a restaurant, I'll hear the staff at the back murmuring, farang, farang. I
But
go,
farang for us is not
It's not
negative, you
racist.
know. Like
Yes.
it's not
sounds like they're
negative.
using
Well,
it as
for
a
us,
negative
it might
term.
not sound negative, but for the
Yeah.
ones being called.
I'm very sensitive. All right, you've been fantastic, both. Thank you very much. Earth, you've been amazing. And you're very, very popular as usual. We look forward to having you all back again sometime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Ask the Thais. If you'd like to make a comment, then please ask your questions underneath. We'll also put any other things that we need to underneath that we've referred to. I don't think we've referred to. We might put one of the advertisements that we used to show in Australia for what we called the .05 campaign, just so you've got a point of reference. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, too.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on Ask the Thais next time.